I wanted to give you a few ideas for improvising with the song Winter is Here. Now, improvising basically means that you're making it up as you go along, but if you think about a few ideas ahead of time, it can make your improvisation sound much more musical. Take a look at the rhythm. Say the rhythm with me. Ready, and ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ti-ti, ti-ti-ta, 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 ta, ti-ti-ta. Now say the words underneath, thinking that same rhythm. Ready, and falling snow, hot cocoa, lights and candles are aglow, dressing warm, head to toe, winter is here. Now take any one of the pitches from our song and play the rhythm with that pitch. If it helps to think the rhythm ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta, then think the rhythm. If it helps more to think the words, then think the words. I'm going to play the rhythm on G and I'll think the words. You can play it along with me if you'd like. Ready, and. Next, try improvising using just 2 pitches. I would recommend taking whatever note you can play the rhythm with and choose one neighbor note, either a neighbor note higher or a neighbor note lower. So I chose G, so my next neighbor up would be A, my next neighbor down would be E. So I'm going to improvise using G and E. Here's what that might sound like. Once you can improvise with 2, then add a 3rd pitch or a 4th pitch, however many you feel comfortable with. And next, I want you to think about moving in steps, either up steps or down in steps. Watch my fingers carefully. Whenever I switch notes, it's either going to be a step up or a step down. If you skip around too much, it might sound like this. It's a lot trickier to skip around and it doesn't sound nearly as musical, so think in steps. Now, I also want you to think about how you're going to end your improvisation. Songs and improvisations usually sound finished when you end on do, or the first note of the scale. So here's our scale here, and our first note is C. You'll also notice that our last note is C. Either one will make your improvisation sound finished. So take a look at that last note and try to end on either a low C or a high C. Let me give you an example of ending on a low C. Here's an improvisation ending on a high C. Lastly, I want you to think about the form of the rhythm. The first phrase of any form is A. We always call the first phrase A. Now, if the next phrase is different, then it would be B. If it was the same, then it would be A. A is ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta. The next phrase is ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ti-ta. That's different, so we're going to call that B. Now, the next phrase is ti-ti-ta, ti-ti-ta. That's exactly the same as our first phrase. So we're going to call that A again. And our last phrase, ta, ti, ti, ta, that's different from A. It's also different from B. So that is our C phrase. Now, when you're improvising, I want you to think about whatever you play for the first A section. Try to remember what you played and play it exactly the same way the next time you get to A. So watch me carefully, listen carefully. I'm going to improvise and notice if my A section here is the same as my A section here. And I made it really easy on myself. I made my A section just G, G, E, G, G, E. So playing something that's easy for you to remember can help you. I'll play one more example of an improvisation, and I'm going to make both A sections the same, both A phrases the same. Well, I hope that was helpful. I want you to try improvising a lot of different ways. Hopefully that gave you a lot of good ideas for making your improvisation very musical. My name is Mr. Klotz, reminding you to keep on making music.